Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen. Inside Star Citizen this week talked about and showed off how pretty the water in Star Citizen Alpha 3.23 has become, but we also have a new 3.23 Wave 2 EPTU patch that I want to talk about, so let's jump into the Inside Star Citizen, the H2O show first. So they said Alpha 3.23 is coming real soon. Potentially this is going to be by the end of April for the live build. We'll have to wait and see. Water is pretty in games and in real life, and it's kind of a focal point. So they wanted water to look the best it possibly could in Star Citizen, and in 3.23 it's looking genuinely pretty awesome. And water is actually a few steps beyond what they showed at CitizenCon 2023. So water's broken down into a few sort of layers. The surface, which obviously reflects, and it's the surface of the water. You know it's water because it has a surface. The fog underneath it, which makes you feel like you're inside of it, but also deals with lighting depth and all that sort of jazz. And then it's sort of all the effects together that help sell that as another layer. So water is complex because it's a bit like glass with the reflections, but also like fog, and it also has waves. They also have foam, which is appropriately shown in certain areas that they think that foam would exist, like near rocks and as it comes closer to shore. They made their foam by photographing soapy water in a pan and then sort of developing that image so that the foam has sort of like a high quality photorealistic feel to it. However, I cannot unsee foam in a pan now. This is Foley work for visuals in its weirdest sense. Players can enter the water and view it from underneath its surface. Can't swim properly yet, you sort of just walk into the water. You also have a good looking waterline where the water cuts across your visor. Now, waves, wake, deformation, that's all part of Star Citizen's region-based surface simulation for water, and that kind of affects the behaviour of water. They can allocate different areas of where water simulation and effects will occur. This is scalable and dynamic, so you can change the maximum number of regions in your graphics options. 32 is sort of the medium setting, 128 is the very high setting, and this also prioritizes the most important ones visually. As you may have guessed, water simulation and effects are client-side in Star Citizen. So they can have things like floating debris in water, boxes and other objects affect the water sim as well, as do ships, players, weapons. It looks great. And it is, at least regarding the sort of effects and sim, visual only. Now, this allows for pretty water with no damage to server performance. Obviously, the water itself has a server-side presence, and assumedly anything you put in the water, it knows where it is. It's just the deformation and movement and effect on the water that is client-side. This is then all tied together by the water buffer, which takes all of that info and any other physics info and all that sort of stuff, and then applies it to different systems, effects, and actually rendering the water. The water buffer can be on or off for any given patch of water. When it's off, it just sort of uses the planetary defaults for water and waves that would be there, and then when it's on, it populates the area and nearby areas with simulated waves that take into account all the sim data and allow them to query what nearby waves are doing, taking into account the physics, etc. They also use this data to work out where sort of sunlight concentrates and penetrates down to, but also where light is reflected up to. Everything brought together makes water look pretty awesome, even in 3.23's Wave 2 PTU at the moment. Still got a bit of a way to go, and obviously they're going to continue to evolve this. The system is future-proofed for other effects and sim data like beach cresting waves they talked about. We've got Vulkan integration now as well, which eventually will allow for lots of pretty stuff like ray tracing. And they did say that Planet Tech version 5 has some exciting things coming. Kind of get quite excited by when they talk about the new sort of stuff coming from Planet Tech, because we expected and we're told that V4 of Planet Tech was basically going to be the last version they did, and they were going to update it to some degree, but nothing huge. Now, it does look like they have more Planet Tech they want to get into the game to make the game look better, to perform better. Star Citizen has a very long development cycle, but it is very pretty, and I'm fine with them making it prettier while they are pushing towards a version 1 of the game eventually. On the 18th of April, we had another Star Citizen 3.23.0 EPTU patch. It's still Wave 2. I say EPTU. It's effectively the PTU. It's just in the EPTU dropdown, so bear that in mind if you are trying to play in that. There's a few updates and changes here. They've added more variety to the loadouts of Outlaw NPCs. They've made various water VFX wake improvements. They've balanced spool times for quantum travel. They've added G-Safe on-off keybinds. Yet more keybinds! The Mobilglass and interior map have had a polish pass. They've increased the ammo for Vandal weapons, increased bullet velocity for Vandal cannons. There's been some master mode balance for some ships. They made slight angular velocity increases to the Scorpius and Scorpius Antares to match the flight archetype, and some adjustments to the Cutlass Black, Blue, Red, and Steel to match their flight archetypes after there were some stat changes. There were a load of performance updates and improvements and optimizations for the server, for the client, and for Oceans. For the Arena Commander Experimental Engineering mode, which they suggest you check out when you can, however, it is bit bare bones and needs a bit more meat to it. They've made a load of fixes and updates here. Fixed an issue that was causing the A2's core health to be significantly lower than intended, and where the wrong fuses were in player inventories. Now, to allow teams to better prepare for upcoming fights, they've increased team balance pre-game phase from 10 seconds to 15 seconds, so you can get a bit more communication going. They've increased game start countdown from 10 seconds to 30 seconds. Movement interactions have been enabled in the pre-game. Players will no longer auto-equip their primary weapon. They've increased the health of the A2 to increase time until it's fully destroyed, as they were just getting blown up incredibly quickly, especially when their shields went down. They've reduced health on items to allow them to be destroyed faster, so you can get more involved with that engineering gameplay, and that will be the key to winning. Can you maintain your ship? They've adjusted weapon balancing for the Gladius and A2. Cannons have a lower speed and higher range, and Gatlings have a higher speed and lower range. They made some UI adjustments. They've added a light to the relays to indicate state of the relay. Red relays are off. They fixed a bug that prevented repairing items when shields were online. They're also working on enabling VoIP, voice over IP, across Arena Commander. This may be enabled mid-patch. The patch is making good progress. There are still a load of known issues. They're trying to tweak server crash recovery so that it doesn't get rid of your missions and sort of abandons them when you move between servers. They're trying to improve server stability and performance, so they want client and server performance to be the best it can be. There are a variety of issues with that at the moment. There are issues with shopping experience, not being able to purchase vehicles, not being able to accept certain missions, not being able to loot certain boxes. There are trains missing, trams missing in some of the areas, no body markers after death in some areas, elevators missing. So there's a load of stuff that they need to get fixed before this moves into a live build or even an open PTU build. We should get some more improvements of Vulcan and a load of refinement to the current systems. Please check out my video from yesterday if you want to know more about the cargo features that got pushed into Alpha 3.23.x. For those of you that want to get involved with the Overdrive event, you have, I'd say, at least a week, but potentially 2 weeks. I'm very excited for Alpha 3.23, but I'm really interested to know, what are you excited about feature-wise for that patch and beyond? Are you really into water? Do you think it looks really, really great, or do you think it still needs some love in the EPTU? Are you thinking that the version 5 of the Planet Tech that they're sort of building is going to be absolutely amazing? Were you really upset by the movement of some of those features of sort of into 3.23.x, and you were like, oh, well, the cargo feature was the only features I wanted in 3.23. They're still coming. It's not going to be too much longer. Are you enjoying Overdrive? Are you enjoying playing on the EPTU with 3.23 at the moment? Whatever your thoughts or questions, I would love to hear from you in the comments below. Welcome to Nordrassic Park. You want to see the wonders of the internet and protect yourself online? Come to Nordrassic Park with the link nordvpn.com/BoredGamer, or click the ones below. They do move in herds. Nord was so preoccupied whether or not they could, they didn't stop to think if they should. Not only do you get big savings with that link, but also top-tier encryption and servers with no limits or borders. I want to be from sunny old England. I don't know why I'm doing an English accent, I am English. Or on the Isle of Newburgh, where the Jurassic Park set, then you can. You can be a clever girl. But remember, you didn't say the magic word. I can't remember any other Jurassic Park quotes. Get NordVPN today. Every month we have a ship giveaway. For April, we're giving away a Hornet F7C Mark II, that latest medium fighter. It also comes with a lifetime insurance and a game package, so you can play Star Citizen, bam, just with that. It's all you need to play. And if you get involved with the Overdrive Initiative missions, you may be able to upgrade that to an F7A Mark II. Just comment on any of my videos made during the month to be in for a chance of winning that. Every video is effectively another chance to win. Thank you so much for watching until the end of the video, and thank you so much to the people that support the channel and go that extra mile with the join button under my videos, giving a little bit each month. They get some exclusive content and badges and help shape the channel a little bit, but also help allow us to make a video pretty much every day. There's also Patreon for people that are interested in that. Any of the affiliate links below my videos help support the channel, but so does commenting and liking and subscribing and sharing these videos too. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the verse.